live and direct at the big signing party for Cash Money Records. We signed that multi-million-dollar deal with Universal. Y'all watch out, the Dirty South is on the come up. Yeah.
Whoa there, what kind of nigga that be full of that drove? What kind of nigga free shop like an Eskimo?
Juve, what kind of nigga wanna be like me? A nigga that wanna go get that new Lexus G. Lil Wayne.
What kind of nigga got 10 round this neck? What? 20 on this wrist? What? Money by the deck? My nigga, what kind of nigga that a kick in the door?
Hello and welcome to another episode of Musically Impaired. I'm Marie, and with me as always is Casey.
Hello.
And
I don't know about you.
What are you doing?
I'm feeling a little bit sick today. Got a little bit of a sore throat.
This might be more of a low energy episode. And
Yeah,
hopefully it's fine.
that'll be fine.
How have you been since the last episode? We haven't talked much.
We haven't. I've been doing good though.
I'm glad.
I've been doing a lot of listening to today's genre,
To today's
Dirty
genre.
South, specifically 90s Dirty South. And I want to talk about why I chose that in particular.
I am curious because I remember when we were recording the Britpop, you were really into this sort of thing, and I'm wondering how you got there.
So I was listening to Juvenile a lot at the time because I love 400 Degrees. It's such a good project. I was just repeating
that one, but I've heard good things.
It's really good. It's really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have a hot take. It's better than any Lil Wayne tape for sure, easily.
That's too hot of a take. I can't
not
believe
even
that,
close. Not even close. It's
I'll check it out. I'll check it out.
But
Okay.
regardless,
We're into it early.
regardless.
Crazy. All right.
So I chose 90s because
Mm-hmm.
that kind of sound that he had is Dirty South, but it's like late 90s Dirty South. That's where you get to like Cash Money, the stuff they were doing in the 90s. So I wanted to focus on that and like the beginnings of Dirty South. And also I wanted to avoid listening to Big Crit again. I wasn't crazy about him last time I listened to him. It was like 4 years ago, but still
really
I didn't want to deal with it. I just didn't want to have to deal with it. I don't really have anything against him or anything. I just didn't want to deal with it.
Okay, interesting. I really have no history with this genre at all, to be honest with you. Like, I'm going into this almost completely blind. I have some knowledge about I'm aware of the Underground Kings and Goodie Mob, but I've never actually listened to any of these albums.
I've listened to the MJG album.
Really? Okay.
And I've listened to UGK's EP Band before.
Oh yeah, you told me about this.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's very interesting. They talk about a lot of interesting things on it.
Interesting.
More famous for like, because DJ Screw sampled them, or did a did a remix of their most interesting song on that album that ended up being one of his best songs.
I'm going to be talking a little bit about DJ Screw today.
We will be talking a tiny bit about him. He deserves his own episode, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I've listened to the Soulja Slim. We'll get into that, actually. We'll get into that.
Is that what...
We'll get into that later.
Well, speaking of your history with that genre, is that what you were listening to when you decided to pick this?
No, I was listening to the Juvenile, and I was getting into 400 Degrees, and I was getting into the No Limit tapes. And a lot of oh my god, I'm gonna lose it. Why can't I remember his name? Waka Flocka Flame. Who's like
Flame.
In between, he's like, honestly, I would call him drill. I don't think people would agree with me on that, but I think he sounds like drill. But he's also considered
I'm not
like
super familiar with.
He's considered like both trap and Dirty South. Like there's overlap, especially early on with trap. So he was also getting a lot of play from me. So I was like, I might go towards this.
Mm-hmm. And were you just like scrolling through your music when you found these, or what got you into it?
No, oh my god, I forget. I think the first time we listened to 400 Degrees, it was like somebody on Twitter talking about one of the songs as like probably the first trap song ever, and I listened to it. I was like, this is really good, and then I listened to the full album.
Mm-hmm.
So I've listened to that a few times before this, and I was getting into Gucci Mane a lot, like in January, which got me into Waka Flocka Flame more. And so that's kind of how that happened all at the same time.
Interesting. So it seems like you have much more of a foundation with this genre and the surrounding ones than I do, because to be honest with you, even trap, I'm not super familiar with. Like, I know the names, of course, Gucci Mane and Waka Flocka Flame, but like, aside from a few radio hits, it's a definite blind spot for me.
We'll get into trap eventually.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
It could be like, it'll be the sequel episode.
We can have like 10
spiritually
episodes about trap.
Yeah.
I'll figure out a way to do that. But yeah, I was a fan of it going into it. It was like a mini obsession I was having.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you seemed pretty into it at the time. I remember you were talking about it quite a bit.
A lot of the stuff on here, much different from the stuff I was listening to, and I do want to get into that.
Really?
Because I was pleasantly surprised by a lot of the albums on here.
I'm mostly pleasantly surprised too.
This is like one of the rare times, especially with hip hop, that I think Rate Your Music isn't terrible.
I don't think it has a bad selection.
No,
definitely.
Because if you look at Rate Your Music's trap selection, I don't know what it is currently. It used to be like bad. It used to be like I can't even imagine. Bad.
Well, the more popular.
Why is Denzel Curry number 2? That's crazy.
Is it
Taboo number 2? It's a fine album. Yeah. It's not bad. Number 2 of all time. It's not
emblematic of
Above Dial It. Oh, it hurts me. Okay. Yeah. This one's not bad. Dirty South, they're not doing too bad on.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, with that, we can get into the definition for the genre. And I wanted to read I usually use one of two sites. It's either allmusic.com or the Rate Your Music definition. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I use the Wikipedia definition, but for this one in particular, they don't actually have a Dirty South page. It's just
that's so odd.
Sort of bundled into the general Southern hip hop page, which I think is odd, but it's not too weird, as in thinking of Dirty South as just another stage in the development of Southern hip hop. I think that's a valid interpretation.
I disagree, because it's very foundational to it.
Yeah.
But it's its own separate thing as well. But
yeah,
regardless,
I could see both. I could see both. But the all music definition is what I'll start off with, which says Dirty South popped up in the later half of the 90s after gangster rap became the standard currency of hip hop. It drew from the Chronic and Two Live Crew's filthy tradition in equal measure, arriving at the stone, violent, sex-obsessed, and naturally profane brand of modern hip hop. The style drew its name from Goodie Mob's 1995 song of the same name, and they, along with Outkast, were the best the genre had to offer, since both their lyrics and music were sharper than contemporaries such as the No Limit Posse. Which is just... It's a really biased definition.
Very biased definition.
First of all, I don't even call Rate Your Music a lot, but like...
Yeah, that was crazy.
All Music is another site that's kind of crazy with it.
I don't even think I know about All Music.
I don't want to say it's an older site, but it's a pretty well-known site for like music cataloging.
How are you mentioning Outkast here? Outkast is on,
I know, right?
Goodie, like they work together. Outkast doesn't have a Dirty South album.
Yeah, they were in similar scenes, but they're just so
Yeah,
divergent from
that's
Dirty
just
South that it's hard to
not mentioning
it's hard to say
UGK
they're the
dissing
same.
No Limit for no reason. Like, what was that?
For no reason. It's insane.
Just caught us
I can read a
straight.
little bit from the music definition, which I think is a bit better.
Okay.
So it goes, contrary to popular belief, Goodie Mob and Organized Noise did not introduce Dirty South. The sound was pioneered by UGK, Cash Money Records, Manny Fresh, and 8 Ball and MJG. Defined by its bouncy rhythms, fast tempo snares, 808 drums, varying synthesizers, and sub-bass kicks. Dirty South is often wrapped in a rhythmic southern hip-hop delivery, while routinely featuring explicitly sexual and or violent lyrics. Unlike most East Coast hip-hop and West Coast hip-hop styles, Dirty South features electronically produced drums instead of sampled drums. I feel like that's a very important sort of thing I noticed about this.
Yeah, it's very early on
Mhm.
because like MJG, that Comin Out Hard came out in like 93, and like every beat there is made by a drum machine.
I think
Or most of them.
the coming out hard is actually the least that this applies to. It does use a lot of sampling. I know.
Yeah.
It's honestly, I would say coming out hard is more close to it's somewhere in between the Memphis style and the Dirty South style.
It's kind of like a prototype for both.
Yeah, well, maybe not Memphis. Memphis is a bit older than 93, right?
No, not really. I mean, because
Really?
sort of. I mean, you had a Memphis scene. We'll
Yeah.
talk about 8 Ball MJG later. But like the way they use like soul samples, in the way they use drums as well, because they sampled some drums, but they also just had drum machines for some songs. And that became like a Southern staple, and they were kind of the first to do that.
Okay. Yeah, 93 does seem pretty early for Memphis now that I'm looking at the actual list. But I don't know. I've always imagined Memphis rap as being like an early, mid-90s thing. And Dirty South is more of a
95.
mid-late 90s thing in my mind, at least.
Mm.
But yeah, I would
That does
definitely
make
say
sense.
the electronic production is a big kind of hallmark of this genre versus like the heavy sampling that you get with West Coast and East Coast hip hop of the same era. And I would also say a thing I notice listening back to all these albums again and again, because I've been listening to these a lot. I've noticed that now I'm not sure if this is something that happened in the I don't know, West Coast or East Coast hip hop scene at all of the time, but there's a lot of doubling of voices and recordings in this. Like almost every verse on every album, I believe, is doubled over. As in the rapper raps the verse and then they rap the same verse underneath that, and it's two sort of
So it's
voices.
like they layer it.
Yeah. If you listen back to this, you'll definitely notice it, because once I
did
noticed
not
it really
notice it,
started
but I really-
sticking out to me.
I need to
Because
do a re-listening on some of those.
I believe it's every single album with the exception of, well, the MJG Coming Out Hard does it the least, I think. And I do think it's like the most divergent, but yeah, you compare that to like, I don't know, Nas of the time, and he definitely only has one track and then he does the ad libs underneath it, which is the way most rappers do it these days. Yeah, it's also
That
the
is
way
true.
that a lot of even Dirty South rappers do it these days. Like if you listen to Lil Wayne's stuff from the late 2000s to now, he definitely has more of a, I don't want to say more of an East Coast style, but it's definitely not
A little
what
bit. I
we're
mean,
getting
I
here.
get what you mean by saying
It's not what we're getting here, you know.
Yeah. It's a lot.
And I would say it's a well, the low fidelity, combined with the double tracking of the voices is a very interesting vibe. I say that word a lot. Very interesting feeling, right? But sometimes it does lead to the tracks feeling a little like muddy, and sometimes like on first listen especially, it can be hard to tell what the
that
rapper
I
is actually
do
saying.
I do agree with. I think it takes a little bit of time.
Yeah, with some of these albums more so than the rest, I think it can be hard to tell what's going on. You know,
I think I had a harder. I don't know if this is gonna sound crazy or not. I probably had the hardest time understanding what they were saying in the UGK album. Out of all of them.
No.
You disagree completely?
Wait, no, yeah, no. I think UGK has the best production. We're gonna be getting
They
into
have
that
the
soon, but I think
best
it's
production.
it's
but-
like definitely the cleanest and like highest budget feeling. I think it's
Oh,
mixed
yeah.
very well.
Yeah. I'm not saying otherwise. I'm more saying that.
For me, it's
just
definitely
the
the Soulja Slim album. I have a lot of trouble understanding exactly what he's saying because it's more of a lo-fi production. The mixing is a bit more basic. You know, a lot of these albums are pretty low in budget, especially compared to like their contemporary West Coast and East Coast.
Yeah, that is true.
You know, acts of the time. Which, you know, we might be able to get into a little bit the why of that in the history.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Should we get started right away? Just jump right into Ridin Dirty?
Love a good segue. I mean, no.
No.
Jump into the album, jump into the history of the genre, right?
Oh my god, I'm such a fool. Yes, you're absolutely right.
It's okay.
You're absolutely
it's all right. We're both a little tired today. It's okay.
I mean, we kind of went over the history a little bit, but to go over it more, it started with Southern rappers starting to use drum machines, heavy soul sampling, funk sampling, and the sampling part is very important because the way they were sampled, they were not usually high budget. There's some exceptions, but it was low budget sampling. It had a gritty feeling. It wasn't digital yet, so it had a little bit of a gritty feel, and that really was part of why it was called Dirty South. Because the beats were like funky, and the rappers were dirty on some of these beats, especially UGK. They're filthy in some songs, not as much on Ridin Dirty.
I also feel like it's probably definitely like partly because of the South's sort of overlooked reputation at the time compared to West Coast and East Coast hip hop and just music industry in general. You know,
that
the
is
South
very
being
true.
like, you know, poorer and less connected in the industry, I guess.
They didn't, it didn't really blow up until later on, which is unfortunate. When
2000s
Outkast,
definitely.
Yeah, but it started when Outkast said the South got something to say. I think that was at the Grammys, right?
The Grammys, yeah, in I don't remember the year.
95. I'm pretty sure it was 95. But that opened the door for a lot of these albums that came afterwards. But a lot of gritty production. And eventually what that evolved into over time, you went from these more soulful, funkier beats with this like mechanical like very like drum machine drums on it, and you start to get to a more like proto trap, like more intense hardcore form of the sound when you get to No Limit and you get to Cash Money. Although more so No Limit, I would say, but they were less soul beats. They were very, very, very much relying on electronic production, and there's like a direct pathway from those tapes from like the late 90s to like T.I. and Gucci Mane and like OJ the Juice, like all those like early trap artists. There's like a direct path you can make. Just how they were inspired by it. They just changed the beats a little bit, and then you have trap music, which came to dominate hip hop entirely. This is like the originator of that sound over here, basically starting out.
I will admit, I do have a little bit of trouble sometimes seeing the DNA of like trap music, but I feel like some of that might be just my unfamiliarity with the genre. But
I think
every now and then I can tell. But
if you like listen to like the Soulja Slim record.
Mm-hmm.
You need to listen to 400 Degrees at some point, because I think that's a direct connection. Like the bounce sound that was part of Dirty South later on, how the bass worked in that was like direct connection.
It's a very New Orleans.
Yeah, very New
sound,
Orleans,
right?
very very New Orleans. And then you listen to like Chicken Talk, or like is it Trap Music by T.I.? I think so.
Not sure.
I think I'm not crazy. Oh my god, I can't type for the life of me. Yeah, Trap Music by T.I. 2003 is where it's still kind of Dirty South, but it starts, like, Trap starts to come out of what he was doing. And then other producers expand upon it.
So early Trap was more similar than necessarily Trap once it went, like, popular and hit the mainstream.
Yeah. Well, because then eventually you have Waka Flocka Flame changing Trap. You have Future. You have Chief Keef. Like, so it's much different today than it used to be. It's much more diverse too, but you don't really hear a lot of those old style, like very obviously Dirty South influence beats as much, unless it's like very intentional. Like I know Megan Thee Stallion has some like more Dirty South influence in some of her songs.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm going to be relying on you a lot for this stuff, because I don't really have that much of a background knowledge for a lot of it.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Should we jump right in?
With that, do you want to get into the albums?
Yes. So, number 1 on the chart is UGK, Ridin Dirty from 1996. So
3.91 on Rate Your Music.
3.91, the highest rated by far.
Definitely,
so UGK, Underground Kings is what that stands for. They were from Houston, Texas, formed in 1987. So they've been around. They were probably the originator of the sound.
1987 is really old, yeah.
Really, really old. They had some early stuff come out in 92. It's Pimp C and Bun B are the two rappers involved. And they were influenced by what they listened to growing up. So they were listening to soul, to funk, to gospel, to blues music, and they used those sounds to push this like sort of very smooth yet dirty, because of how the production was, kind of music out. And Pimp C got like a drum machine really early on into their career, and so he would be using that instead of sampling drums. Using a lot of hi-hats kind of set the standard for what both Southern hip-hop as a whole and what Dirty South would be feeling like. And they came out with the EP Band I talked about, which the label did not let them put any of those songs on their first project. And I think the label was trying to screw them over a bit.
Do you know what label it was at that point?
I don't remember. I did not write that down, unfortunately. I think it was Jive Records. It was Jive Records.
Yeah, I remember reading something about that, actually.
They basically were like, we're going to have you with like a live band recording this instead of sample-based.
This is strange.
It's very strange, but they 100% made the most of it. I love this album. It is really incredible. It's easily the best production on here. One Day is fantastic. Oh my god! Like, 'cause I don't think it's sampling. With the soul singer they have, I don't think that's sampled.
No.
I'd be very surprised. Yeah.
This album has a couple of samples, but it's still very few comparatively to like West Coast and East Coast of the era.
It's a lot of like in-house musicians helping them make this. And it's so lush. It's so soulful. It's funky at the same time.
Yeah, definitely.
incredibly like gorgeous production all over this thing.
Oh, it's great production.
That-
Like I was saying earlier about the whole muddiness and everything, it's not really present in
It's
this
not
album
on
at
this
all.
one. It's on the other
It's
ones.
mixed
It's
very
not really on
cleanly.
this one.
You know, you can definitely tell some budget and like post production went into this.
Yeah, which Jive was trying to
Which was-
avoid. I don't really know how that really went down. It's
I think it's for the
confusing.
better because some of the other ones could have used a little bit of post production, just a little bit.
I don't mind the dirty production. I'm gonna be honest.
It is
with you.
it is part of the charm of the genre. I get
And
what you mean.
Despite the very amazing production, and there's some really good songs on here,
Mm-hmm.
I don't love them as much as I love some of the other rappers here. Production
Okay.
is one thing. I don't love them
Yeah.
as much as I love like MJG. I don't love them as much as I love the
Mhm.
rappers on the Goodie Mob album.
Oh,
I-
okay.
Probably say I like some of the members of Hot Boys more better than them. I think because the album is quite good. It's not
It's
the
quite a
worst
good
here
album.
by far. Like not the worst at all.
Mm-hmm.
However, they are my least favorite lyricists. Or maybe not
Yeah,
lyricists.
I
My
can't-
least favorite rappers
I-
out of all 5 of these projects. Which
I
might
think
be a
they're
bit of
good.
a hot
I just
take.
can't necessarily think about anything that particularly stands out. You know,
It's very, very southern. And that's kind of like it's very, very done before. It doesn't really stand out in comparison to the other ones.
I will say I do love the title track. Ridin Dirty is a great track.
Ridin Dirty is great.
They have the
One Day
throughout
is
the whole album
fantastic.
they have. Oh yeah, throughout the
Easily
album they
one of
have the
the-
whole. It's not narrative device would be way too like pretentious to say, but they have the whole thing of. One part of it is an interview with a friend in prison, and the other part is an interview with a Latino man. I'm not really sure the story behind that, but as far as like, I don't know, hip hop in this era had a lot of skits that didn't die off until like to the 2010s.
Thank
And
God
as
it
far as
died
that
off.
goes here, thank God it died off. But I don't
Yeah.
mind it here. It's interesting, you know.
Yeah, I don't hate it here
It's
as
a
much.
nice sort of framing device to get you into the mind state of.
They keep it short and sweet with the skits.
Yeah.
Unlike some
On
of the
this one,
other
at least.
albums that are going to be coming up,
Yeah.
where the skits aren't so great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, skits did not impact my enjoyment of this album at all. If anything, they kind of improve upon it. They give you a little bit of
Mm-hmm.
like a break from what's going on, and then you get right back into
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
which I appreciate a lot. Those first 4 tracks are unbelievable.
Yeah, I love One
Really,
Day.
really,
I think we
really
already said
good.
that.
Yeah,
But it's
that's my
good.
favorite on here for sure. Ridin Dirty is great. Outro is interesting. And I think I like that a lot more than I really should. Because
One
it's...
thing I have noticed.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, continue. Okay, I'll say it. One thing I have noticed is that on this album, I believe 3 different times he does the hip hop thing of shouting out every city he can think of.
Yeah.
And he just does that for like 6 minutes, 3 different
It's
times
like, it's
on this album.
so good. It's so good. I love
West
it.
Side, North Side, Chicago, Tennessee, Memphis, Houston, Florida, Miami, just every single city you can think of.
And that's all outro is for 9 minutes.
Oh yeah,
It's just
outro's
9
at for
minutes
9
of that.
minutes.
But it's such a
Ridin
good
Dirty
beat
has 2
behind
minutes
it.
of that.
It's such a good beat behind that. I could
It's a
listen
great
to
beat.
outro like over and over again, and I wouldn't get tired
It's
of
a
it.
great beat.
It's
Mhm.
just like I don't really care what he's talking about, but it's just like hypnotic. It's like really good.
Mhm.
I
The
think
beats in this are excellent.
yeah, for sure. I understand why it's number 1 here.
Yeah, I do too. I get it. Even if it's not my personal favorite,
Exactly.
I do understand.
Yeah, it's not my personal favorite either. But it deserves its flowers for sure.
Yeah.
Every beat
Super
here
tight
is like
project.
incredible. It's very tight. There's no wasted energy or anything on here. It's an hour. It doesn't really
Mhm,
feel like an
mhm.
hour. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it
need
does go by
to
pretty
listen to
quickly.
their other stuff. And I've been meaning
I am
to.
curious too. Have you listened to their most famous album is
Underground
the one
Kings?
that the Players Anthem comes from?
Yeah, I've listened to Players Anthem. I have not listened
International Players Anthem.
to the entire album though. And
Actually,
that
I haven't listened to
album
the entire album either.
is over 2 hours long.
Yeah, kind of crazy.
So I'm
I will say
glad
one
we
thing about
didn't
the
go for
genre.
that one. That would have been a little bit much.
It's
To listen to
a
and
lot of these
repeat.
albums are a little bit on the longer side, but not to
That
an
is true.
insane degree.
I feel like
But just a little bit.
a lot of these albums would benefit from being shorter.
Maybe
in
one
some
or two
ways.
tracks cut. Maybe.
Like, I feel like there's a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like there's a reason why trap albums
Mhm.
these days are shorter.
Yeah.
And they benefit from that, because if you have an hour, like I can't listen to an hour long like
No, it
Sama
starts to
San
blend
album.
together.
I would like lose my mind. Yeah.
That's something I noticed the first time I listened to these. A lot of the songs start to blend together, and it's only on re-listens that I can sort of, pick them apart.
Yeah. I definitely benefited from re-listening to all of these.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Ridin Dirty, great, very very
Great
good
album, yeah. I do recommend.
Yeah, oh for sure. Yeah, listen to this one. It's worth it, like alone for one day. You have to listen to one day before you die at some point. That's all.
It's good. Yeah.
Next album at number 2, we're going over Comin Out Hard by 8Ball and MJG. So we were talking a little bit about this one earlier. It's from 1993. So this is much earlier.
8.63. Much earlier, yeah. This is, very early.
One of the first ones, because you basically have UGK, the band EP
Mm-hmm.
of the songs they weren't allowed to put out on their first album. They put that in a separate EP, released it first.
Yeah.
Then comes Comin Out Hard. It's the second release that's not a single.
Okay.
It's like literally number 2. So this
I will
is the
say
originator.
Mm-hmm. For the sound of this one, like I was saying earlier, it's somewhere between Memphis and tell me if you get this at all. It's somewhere between Memphis and the Ghetto Boys from the early 90s.
I 100% understand what you mean. And the Ghetto Boys are Southern hip hop.
Have you listened to the? Yeah, they're from Houston.
I love them.
Have you listened to the Ghetto Boys at all?
I love them.
They're great. They're amazing.
They're so great. I need to listen to them again.
Not quite dirty South. Definitely more West Coast influence at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I
see,
can definitely feel. Mm-hmm.
One thing I've noticed on a lot of these projects is there is a lot of West Coast influence.
Yeah, it is interesting, right? Well, some of the labels are West Coast labels, right?
And
Like,
so that makes sense.
I can't remember. One of the labels we're talking about. Well, No Limit itself was founded in Richmond, and another one of the labels is also, I believe, initially a West Coast label that moved to the South. So it sort of makes sense,
It does, and but a lot of Southern hip hop was influenced by like G-Funk too.
Yeah,
and it has similar roots to it, so it's easy to
Mhm.
incorporate that as well
Yeah.
into your sound.
Mhm.
There's one part on this album, and I forget which rapper was rapping at the time. He sounds
Yeah.
exactly like Ice Cube
Yeah.
on Good Day, when
Uh-huh.
he's like, when he does like the little, I can't rap, and I'm not gonna try to embarrass myself by doing that
What
live.
is it? Sure.
And when I hit the switch, like right before I can make the like the little like weird
I can make the ass drop.
yeah, but it's like the way he raps it. It's like the flow of that whole part.
Mhm.
I heard that
Yeah.
exact flow in one of these songs, and I'm forgetting. I wish I wrote it down. I'm forgetting which one it is. I think it's Pimps, but
It's like I was saying, in that there's definitely Memphis influence here, and the more I listen to it, I can tell the Memphis influence in the verses, like definite like triplets. You can tell.
yeah,
Absolutely.
this
And
is where
the style
that
is very
started.
Memphis, very rhythmic and like on beat and on meter. But I also, like you said, I noticed a lot of West Coast influence in the delivery and everything.
Yeah.
and
It's like
also
it's a
Dirty
very
South
cool
being-
blend of
it
styles.
being a
here.
more gangsta rap, like specifically inspired genre, rather
Mhm.
than the East Coast doing its own take on that.
Yeah,
It's definitely, you can see it there. in the
Yeah.
lyrics and the delivery.
You're getting
and the
more
sort of approach
like
to music.
NWA Ice Cube
Yeah,
than you are
yeah,
like
definitely.
Nas or like anything from the East Coast.
What would it have been in '93 on the East Coast? Like
You
early
would have
Biggie,
Tribe
I
Called
guess?
Quest.
Tribe Called Quest, yeah.
I'm blanking. I'm blanking completely
Yeah, I'm
right
blanking
now.
too.
There's definitely
We'll have
more.
an ep-
I'm not. I like.
we'll have an
There's
episode
definitely.
on
There's
that.
more that I've listened to. Yeah, we'll get to there. I love this album so
Mhm.
much.
I love this
It
album
is
too. I love
incredible.
it so. I'm so
It's-
glad we're the same on that.
Yeah, it's gritty. It is definitely on the grittier side of things.
Absolutely. It's probably the one I would recommend most. If you listen to any one of these albums, it's this one. It's short, it's sweet, and it's great all throughout.
Pimps is such a beautiful song.
Yeah, it's just a
That-
classic album about pimping, and it's great.
Do you know that soul sample on Pimps?
What is it?
Where I don't know exactly who it is, but I just can't
Mhm.
Oh my god, I'm forgetting what he says now. I'm such a fraud.
Hmm.
I just can't
It's
seem
okay.
to get my feet on the ground. That's it, like
I just can't.
oh, it's
Yeah,
just so good. It's so good. This is my favorite song of the album for sure. There's no bad
me,
song.
It's probably Coming Out Hard. That one is in my mind.
Yeah, again,
a lot.
like
The production
brilliant.
on that one is so. The production on this album in general is very divergent from the rest of the things we're talking about because it's
Mhm.
heavily sample based and a lot of mixing and screwing and things like that compared to a lot of the more very electronically produced other albums. Like I believe some of the other albums don't have like any samples on them. Like
I think
samples
the
in the
later
way that we-
ones like completely ignore sampling.
yeah, sampling in the way that we think of it
I don't
traditionally.
know if
in
the
hip-hop, at
UGK
least.
one has much sampling at all. There's a little
It has
bit,
a
but
couple,
not a lot.
but definitely
as
less than
much.
you would get from the contemporary West and East Coast.
There's
But this one is pretty heavy on the sampling.
Oh, yeah.
like
Everything
like I said,
is
very
sampling
similar to the Memphis style in that it's many samples cut and mixed and probably on a. I'm not an expert in this, but probably like manually cut on like a tape deck or however they did it back.
oh
in the day.
yeah, I'm sure.
It
That-
has
they
that
didn't- they
lo-fi
didn't have-
quality.
The South didn't have access to huge studios. They weren't able to do like
Electronic,
Nas had
yeah.
like really smooth, polished samples from other
Yeah,
songs.
he was in New
they
York.
weren't they weren't
you
able to
know?
do that here. So everything is a little
Yeah.
bit dirtier, it's a more gritty.
Absolutely.
feel like
a
it
little bit
benefits-
more low production.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
It helps the atmosphere.
Every single like instrumental on this album is just such a banger. Like I
It's
could listen
so
to just an
fantastic.
instrumental of this album, honestly.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
Like,
One thing I'll say,
Coming Out
I don't
Hard is my favorite, but
love Mr. Big. The
I
instrumental
love Mr. Big.
No,
Mr.
instrumental is
Big, Mr.
great.
Big.
I just feel like it's so dumb. Like what are you talking about? You spend
I
like
love it.
he spends so much time earlier in the album talking about how he's like fat and he's huge.
He
and
is
like
fat.
I'm still getting bitches and I'm fat. And then
He
he's
is
like, but they
fat.
call me Mr. Big, but not because of my size. Bullshit. They call you Mr. Big because you're
well-
big as fuck. Like that's like who are we trying to fool? You were just talking
True as
about
hell.
it. It's a good
True.
song still. That's just one issue I had with it.
It's a wonderful song. I love it so much. You know.
Yeah. Everything here is good. So there's on streaming there's chopped and screwed versions of 2 of these songs.
Yeah.
I didn't
Well, no,
love
it's
those
got
very
a
much.
bonus song actually.
Oh, it also the bonus
It's
song.
got
I like the
it's
bonus
got
song
a
too.
chopped and screwed version of Coming Out Hard, I think.
Mhm.
Or Mr. Big, and then it has the bonus song of well, what am I talking about? I don't really know. I know Mr. Big is the bonus track and Coming Out Hard on streaming. Yeah.
Mr. Big's a bonus track on streaming?
That's what it said. It's a DJ Screw remix.
Oh,
is
the
what I'm
remix.
saying.
Yeah. I don't love the screwed versions of these songs. I love
don't
DJ Screw.
either.
I love
It's
DJ
not his-
Screw. But also this was
It's
early.
a little bit too low fidelity, honestly.
Yeah.
It gets really kind of hard to make out the instruments.
He gets
in
to his
the
peak in like
remixes.
95. So it's not
Mhm.
surprising that like I don't actually know when he made it because they just kind of tacked these on the bonus edition. Like, I don't know, but it could have been made in '95, and I'm just talking on my ass. But
Yeah.
just not the best Screwed songs I've ever heard in my life. They were just kind of unnecessary, and I didn't like listening to them very much. They're not part of the actual album. They're not really.
Yeah.
You don't gotta.
They're not
to
the
them.
best.
Yeah.
They're not his best work, but he has some pretty good work. So it's a little unfortunate. I was excited initially seeing there were DJ Screw remixes, but yeah, it's a little bit too low fidelity.
I have homework for you after this is done, by the way, regarding DJ Screw.
Sure.
We'll talk about it.
Okay.
We'll talk about it.
Sure. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Coming Out Hard, fantastic. Every
Lovely,
instrumental
listen
on
to
here, incredible.
Incredible.
Did I even talk about them at all?
The instrumentals?
I think I just went right in. I did not talk about them at all. Real quick, going over
Okay.
8 Ball and MJG. They're from Orange Mountain,
the
Memphis,
artists.
which is where a lot of Memphis rappers come from afterwards. This is like a prelude to like Memphis rap. They kind of set the tone of what not the tone, but like the spine of what it would be, and then 3-6 Mafia kind of made it gave it more of an edge and like a darker turn. But they took a lot of the same techniques and stuff that they were doing here.
Yeah.
Like 2 years later, or the year later, if you want to think about the unreleased stuff they did. Whatever. But so they have these pimp personas throughout the entire thing. It's just like for the album. They're not actually really about that, which I found funny because I feel
I
like
love it when that happens.
in the 90s I felt like it was like less okay to cap rap,
Pretend. Yeah.
which I don't really think it matters. I think it's like
I will
amazing
say
here.
it's almost to a benefit that a lot of these stories about pimping feel more fictional, I guess. Because
Yeah, that is true.
really,
they are a
it
little
gives
bit
us some-
ridiculous, but it's like
gives
it's
us
so
some,
fun.
You know, it makes it more fun. You know, it gives it some
Yeah.
fictional charm
Yeah, if they were really
compared
like
to some.
slapping women and like treating them, I don't know how I feel about it.
Well, compared to some of the other stories you get on some of the other albums, where it's like, this is probably a real thing that happened. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that is also true. Yeah.
Like on the Soulja Slim track, it's like the stories he tells on there. Like, yeah, that's
Oh yeah,
that
we'll
stuff
get into
probably
Soulja
actually
Slim.
happened.
He's an interesting man.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is like the blueprint for Southern hip hop going forward.
It's like
and
they brought
what
gangster rap to the South.
what a tough blueprint to follow up.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, like this is like where it starts. Like, how do you even try to follow that up? I'm like, I don't know. It's incredible. It's
great.
It's really, really good. I really highly recommend this one. Not too long.
I do as well.
Every song is
Very short and
incredible.
very sweet.
All right, moving on.
Next up, we have Goodie Mob, still standing from 1998 with a 3.63.
So they're tied
Now-
for number 2, number 3 for the 90s chart.
Yeah. Now, Goodie Mob is a how do I say? It's a group I've heard of before this, but I had no clue about who was actually in it or what their like origin was. And it's a hip hop group, of course, but everyone we're talking about today is a hip hop group, I guess, except for Soulja Slim. He's a lone solo act, but he has so many features in that album. He might as well be a
so
group.
many features, yeah.
But yeah, Goodie Mob, 1991, Atlanta-based, and famously they were associated with the Dungeon Family. The Dungeon Family, most well known for their association with Outkast in the mid to late 90s, right?
Yeah.
And it's sort of a collective of rappers who all used a production studio in a what was his name? Who's the guy behind the Dungeon Family? Rico Wade, yeah. Rico Wade's basement. Well, his mom's basement, to be honest. He had a production
That's so
studio down there.
awesome.
It's so awesome, isn't it? and it's just a lot of local groups use that basement as like a gathering spot and a spot for recording, you know. And like you said earlier, since the South is definitely less of an entertainment industry, especially at this time, they had to you know, to make do with what they had. And so like having a actual production studio, I imagine, attracted a lot of talent to the you know, Dungeon family.
I feel like by this point, because this was 98,
this is well after
this
Outkast
seems like
up.
it has a really good production value on a lot of these songs. So this isn't as raw as some of the other albums that are on here. Do you want to get, sorry to interrupt, do you want to get more into
no, it's
like
fine.
the history of the group?
There's not much history to cover. It's like Goodie Mob, formed by Cujo, Timo, Big Gip, and CeeLo Green, which I had no clue about the origin of CeeLo Green.
I did not know CeeLo Green was on this at all.
I didn't know that he was like, I had a clue that he was originally a rapper, but I didn't know what his like early projects were about or where he came from or anything. But he's definitely like the standout star of this album. You can tell that he's definitely on a level that the others aren't exactly. Like he's doing.
Is he the one with like the
things.
really southern voice?
Yeah, he's the one on the end of every track that has like sort of a stream of consciousness style. He's the one singing on most of the tracks.
Yeah,
he's the one that does the
love him on this.
The rock songs.
He is incredible on this.
He's incredible. He stands out so much on this. And not to say that the other members of the members of the group are bad, but
he just stands out a lot.
Yeah, they don't really stand out. It's harder to tell them apart, to be honest. There's a guy on this that sounds a lot like Ice Cube, actually.
There's a guy I was getting a lot of Tupac from one of the members.
Tupac too. Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the thing. I think the South borrowed a lot from the West, and it's like at the beginning, at the start, and some of that carried over to the flows.
But yeah, this is after their initial album Soul Food in 95. Yep, 95. And this is the follow-up album, of course, and so definitely a bit more of a higher budget. They were definitely a bit more well-known at the time. The Dungeon family also having, you know, like already blown up from Outkast's fame. And it's a great album. I like this album a lot.
I love this album. It is fantastic.
I think you can sort of pinpoint the regional differences a little bit with the Southern hip-hop of the era. Sort of like how, I don't know, East Coast hip hop outside of New York isn't exactly the same as you would get from New York. With this, it's like
each city had its own sound.
With this, it's like, well, Memphis has such a divergent sound that it's obviously basically its own genre. But with this being Atlanta, you can definitely tell a big difference from the Texas-based and even the New Orleans-based acts that we're going to talk about.
Like smooth and sexy like UGK. The beats on there not in the same way at the very least. Beats are fantastic still though.
Absolutely.
But
I would say Atlanta is more it's more of an experimental style than anything else we're talking about. There's a lot of things they do on this that they just don't or wouldn't really do on the other albums, I think. Like outside of Just About Over. There's a lot of like
do they use live instrumentation on some of these songs?
I don't.
I feel like Beautiful Skin.
No, the guitar. This has a lot of guitar on it, honestly. A lot of acoustic guitar, which is interesting.
And it's beautiful.
Like still not a lot of sampling, but definitely the production is more familiar to you if you're an Outkast fan at all. But like I was saying, it's a more experimental style with I don't know, it takes from a lot of different genres. They try a lot of different things that you might not get with a New Orleans or Houston-based artist. And it makes sense because it's the same scene that produced like Outkast, and they are, you know, so doing their own thing and experimental, especially the longer their respective careers go on, that like you can see that DNA in this album as well. Getting into the actual like songs, Black Ice is definitely a standout track. That's one. Speaking of it, that features Outkast.
That one's great.
It's great. It definitely, well, not to talk down on anyone, but it makes sense as to why Outkast became the stars from the South, because they're just so good. Even on this track, they're on a different level. You can tell. His verse is insane. I meant to write down some of the lyrics from it.
A top 5 MC all time.
Top five lyricists, absolutely. He starts off his verse with what a reference to Cleopatra and Mark Antony or whatever. Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's just on a different level.
Lend me your eardrums. It's a beautiful day off in the neighborhood. And I'm like, I heard that. I'm like, how are you gonna make this work? And then he just goes into it, and it's like, wow, he really made that work. That's just insane.
He's just in another mind state than anyone else.
Absolutely. You also have Big Boy on that track, also out rapping all the other members of Goodie Mob, and it's just like, yeah, no wonder Outkast became stars. They're just incredible, amazing.
Yeah, no, they're fantastic. I need to listen to them more.
And absolutely, I really need to go through their discography. Maybe we will at some point.
That would be lovely. I love their first album.
They're great. But like all throughout this album, it's just really addictive hooks, really, really nicely sung hooks, very musical, you know. One of the weaker spots of this genre sometimes is that the hooks can get repetitive, or especially when they're like rapped hooks instead of sung hooks.
And sometimes they just don't have hooks. There were some songs on like the UGK album, they just kind of rapped the whole way through.
Yeah, it feels like, I don't know, whenever you rap a hook, it can get hard to differentiate it from the verse. And I think with this album, the hooks are so musical, and there's harmonies, you know, it's R&B inspired, that it's really gives you a nice break from the verse and helps the song become more memorable, you know? Like, They Don't Dance No More. Great song.
Great
and that sung hook, They Don't Dance No More. It really gets stuck in your head, honestly.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. I think my favorite on here is definitely Beautiful Skin.
Beautiful Skin is great. The instrumental is beautiful.
It's amazing.
It's the thing that hip hop albums used to do, where they're going to be like, "Oh, this one's for your girl. This song's for your girl." This is the one romantic song we got.
Yeah,
they don't really do that anymore.
Job with it.
For whatever reason, but yeah, it's great. Beautiful Skin, you know, Get Up, Gutta Butta, Ghettoology, Distant Wilderness, all really great. Greeny Greens, one of my favorites, absolutely a standout.
Also a really good one. I feel like I said, Ghettoology was kind of like also like something that you could look at that and be like, that could inspire trap music too. It's just very hard hitting, very hard hitting. Like a really
I'm also seeing definitely some like 2000s underground DNA, like the sort of stuff you would get from I guess Blue a little bit, in that sort of
I see that.
It's conscious a little bit, but not like conscious, you know,
not over the top about it.
I would definitely say this is the most conscious out of any of the albums we're going through today. Like there's definitely a lot of verses about.
It's only less conscious from here.
Yeah, a lot of verses about, you know, the cycle of violence and trying to break out of the hood and do better. One of my favorite verses is the CeeLo verse where he talks about getting robbed. What song is that again?
I do. Do
you know what I'm talking about?
I think I do. Yeah.
It's the one where he's talking about how he was riding around late one night and he saw a car pull up on him. And
I don't know. I know what you're talking about.
He wasn't really even mad at the robber, like he was mad about getting robbed, but he was more, I don't know, he says it in such a stream of consciousness sort of way that's very cool, but he was more upset that like if he was the person he used to be, he just would have killed the guy that tried to rob him. But since he wants to break out from the cycle of violence, he just let the guy take his car, because like he says in the song, he used to be the guy robbing people, so he understands what it's like to be in that position. Yeah. And so he's not really even mad, you know. He just wants, you know.
He blames the system.
He wants the guy to know that if he was who he used to be, he would have shot a hole straight through his heart or whatever.
Yeah.
Is that kind of like humorous, but also conscious and thinking sort of?
It's very introspective.
introspective lyrics, right? That really stand out on this track from CeeLo, I think.
Yeah.
Like he's definitely the star of this.
Oh yeah, for sure. His verse on Beautiful Skins, like he just like the way he talks is so like I just love it.
Yeah,
his voice is incredible.
Right? I can definitely see. Well, okay, we'll get into that in a second. But Inshallah might be my favorite hook. It's a great song. I love Inshallah. I almost don't have much to say about it, but it's just nice to listen to. You know, there's a certain, I guess, whatever the opposite of grittiness is to some of these tracks. Like there are definitely some gritty tracks here. Some
Like
almost
like
industrial vibes at certain points, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
There was a song I noticed that in, but with a lot of these tracks, it's very lush, very R&B inspired. And he's still talking about like the sort of pimping and life of a thug in the hood, sort of gangster rap.
But
that
but it's done in a more
tracks, but
more thought-provoking way than the other.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. Far. You know, "See You When I See You" is a I feel like that's a little similar to "One Day" from UGK, in that it's sort of a meditation on like the what am I saying? Like the how life can just end in a second, especially when you're in a place with so much violence and everything. Yeah, and then I want to get to "Just About Over." Do you remember this track, "Just About Over"?
I do. It's not one of the ones that was a standout to me, though.
I think it's really interesting because I think like a lot of people at the end of the like Y2K era, they had a definite interest in seeing how you could combine rock and hip hop, right? As hip hop became more and more
that's
prominent.
around that time.
You had people coming from it from a rock perspective, trying to introduce hip hop vibes into their albums, and then you also had people coming from the hip hop perspective, trying to see how they could do, a more rock influence inspired thing. And I think it's a great sort of. I'm not even going to call it an attempt. It's a great song that does both of that. Rap rock in 1998. And like I was saying, you can definitely see the sort of path that CeeLo's career would take with this sort of stuff, being sort of introspective, but also but also experimental in that way. You can definitely see how he got to Gnarls Barkley in that sort of. It's not exactly rap rock, Gnarls Barkley. It's somewhere in between. It's not really rap at all, to be honest. But
I don't think
you can. Gnarls Barkley, you know, Crazy, right?
I might. I don't. Maybe.
You absolutely. It plays all the time on the radio.
Oh yeah. No. You
think I'm crazy?
Yes. Okay.
Probably.
Yeah.
And also,
it is a banger. I forgot that was by CeeLo Green.
"Forget You," although that's more of a poppy type of.
That's
vibe,
a little more poppy, but yeah.
With things like that, you can absolutely see the. I keep saying this phrase, with the DNA. You can see how it comes from this sort of album,
So
and
"Forget You" is
I like this album a lot.
"Forget You" is my intro to CeeLo Green, by the way. That's the first song I ever knew by him.
I know it's a really popular one, so it makes sense. Also, don't go to that allegation section in CeeLo Green's Wikipedia.
You know what? I don't want to hurt myself. I'm good.
You don't go there.
Good on that. I underground hip hop has taught me to not even get into it. Don't even get into it.
I had to mention it. Great lyricist though. Great musician.
Oh yeah, fantastic. I just assume that every musician's a bad person.
It's not a bad assumption, to be honest.
It doesn't hurt when it happens.
Yeah, not a bad assumption.
But fantastic album. Absolutely fantastic album.
I recommend this. Definitely one of my top 3.
For sure. But
next up, we're getting into
our personal picks.
Yeah, personal picks. Yeah, host picks.
So, I'm gonna get started with that. And oh my god, why am I forgetting things? Oh no, you're starting.
Oh my god, I am starting.
I'm so chopped. Okay, yeah, you go. My bad.
I completely forgot. Okay, so I'm starting off with Guerrilla Warfare from the Hot Boys from 1999 at a 3.43 on Rate Your Music. Now, I can say that I didn't know about the existence of the Hot Boys, and I mostly picked this album because I saw one of the tracks has Lil Wayne credited, which is interesting because he's on all of these tracks because he's a crucial member of the group.
Yeah.
I don't know why Clear the Set particularly has him credited.
Well, it's weird because there's like Juvenile specifically credited on You Dig, and Turk is specifically credited on like About Whatever. Like, it doesn't really make sense why they did that. I don't understand that at all.
But anyway, the Hot Boys, I was reading a bit about them. Formed 1997, original members BG, Lil Wayne, Juvenile, and Turk. And Lil Wayne at the time of joining the Hot Boys, he was 15, I think.
Yeah, he was young.
And I think he was either 16 or 17 when he made this album. And I can kind of feel that in this album because literally the first couple of songs I listened to, I didn't know it was Lil Wayne. It was only when I kind of looked into it more and I was like, wait, is that Lil Wayne?
It really doesn't sound the same as he does later on.
He's like 16 here, which also, by the way, makes sense as to why he's called Lil Wayne because like he's so much younger than every other member of the group.
16.
Yeah, exactly. Apparently, he's been rapping like since he was like 8. Like he was recording tracks when he was like
no idea.
11 or 12. He's dedicated to it, and you can tell by the arc of his career that he loves the music.
So, I want you to look at the cover art of their other album, Get It How You Live, right now.
Okay. Oh my goodness, yeah.
He looks like a little kid.
He looks like he's 12. He looks really young on this album art too.
Yeah, but it's not as bad.
Mm-hmm.
He does look young on this one too. He looks very young.
He's got that raspy voice he's known for, but it sounds different. It's raspy but high at the same time, you know.
Yeah. It's not
like
bad.
Once you recognize it, you can kind of tell, but
he's really not my favorite on here.
Yeah, I will say this is not it's not like he's not showing up the other members really. Like
which makes sense because he is 16.
He is 16.
For 16, he's doing fantastic, but
he's not
not
like a super ultra
the
prodigy at this point. He's pretty definitely on the mark. Very similar in quality to the other rappers of this album. But I would say for this album in general, I didn't like it very much on my first listen. I found it very hard to tell apart the members and the lyrics and the hooks all kind of blended together. But I listened to it again just yesterday and I liked it a lot more.
Yeah, it's grown on me. I don't like it as much as 400 Degrees by Juvenile alone.
I have to listen to that.
And all of the Hot Boys are on that album too.
Well, it makes it early Wayne albums. All of the Hot Boys are also on that one, on those albums.
I gotta say, the hit from this album was "I Need a Hot Girl." It sounds like a. Oh my god. What is his name? Give me a minute.
Take your time.
Sounds like a Soulja Boy song.
You can see the influence, I think.
Yeah, it has not aged the best.
I feel like this album definitely gives me a little bit of like you can kind of see how they got bling from here.
Oh
generally.
yeah.
You can see how it
directly
got there
influenced it.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I was not familiar with the Hot Boys at all. I've heard them mentioned. God, I think Tyler, the creator, mentions them on Smuckers, which he has with Lil Wayne. But I didn't know anything about him.
So, about a little bit of background about them. They were the main group that Birdman was having on Cash Money.
Yeah.
And we're going to get into No Limit later. But Cash Money and No Limit had a really weird rivalry because they were both from New Orleans.
Both
They were
New
from
Orleans, right? Yeah.
Different parts of it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And while the rappers were actually quite friendly with each other, and they like genuinely wanted to work together, because of their location, they like could not do that. Because of where they were located, it was like a no-go. And Birdman and Master P from No Limit had like kind of like a little bit of like a Cold War beef between them, where nothing ever came of it. But they were like rival. They were fighting for the best group out of New Orleans against each other. Birdman focused on the Hot Boys and making them big, and No Limit had a ton of different artists, and would
they had
release
so many.
a bunch of albums like every 2 weeks or so. They were coming out with an album.
Oh, really? That's crazy.
It got to that level. And they were trying to just push through the next big talent. They were just trying to like get them to have as many albums as possible to compete. And they were winning at first, and then obviously Juvenile and Lil Wayne became huge. So it didn't really work out. Cash Money kind of won that one.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But they have a similar style.
Much about. Yeah, absolutely. They're definitely the two most similar albums we're going to talk about. We haven't talked much about the songs on this, but it's a pretty long track list.
It's a very long track list.
The ones that stand out to me, We On Fire. I went to bed last night and that chorus was repeating in my head.
It's a good one.
The hot boys, hot boys. It just kept going on and on in my head. It's a good one.
It is a good one.
They go back into the chorus in Too Hot. I also like Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's a cool idea, talking about the habits of the police officers in the area they live in.
I like Ridin a lot.
What else? Ridin's good. Ridin is good.
That's probably my favorite on here. Again, I don't love I Need a Hot Girl. It's like trying to listen.
It's trying too hard. It's trying a little bit too hard. Definitely can see why it popped off, because it's got that sort of chorus that, like you said, kind of feels like something
for being
you get
at
from
the club too.
Soulja Boy later.
Yeah, that's what it was designed for, and it 100% inspired like the crunk artists that came after this, and like all of, like the snap, like the Soulja Boy stuff. But none of that has aged well either. This is also just an album that to me has not aged as well as the other ones here.
No, I would probably say the same. I would say unless you have a particular interest in the Dirty South genre or the origins of Lil Wayne or Juvenile, or you really like 400 Degrees, I'm not exactly sure there's a reason to listen to this album or most of the songs. It's not a bad album by any means, but
it's a little bloated.
It's quite long.
It's not terrible.
70
it's not like
70
I
minutes.
was wasting my time listening to this.
And there's not a bunch of standouts.
No,
you can see the DNA and origins of a lot of genres that came after, I guess. But as far as the album itself, it's it's a fine album.
If you want to listen,
good production. Well, not production, but like the instrumentation. Instrumentation is pretty good.
Yeah. I like the production a lot more than I like the performances on this.
You can definitely tell this one and Soulja Slim are definitely much more cheaply made than the other albums we're talking about. Like if you're a music producer, you could probably call out some of the default sounds they're using in these albums.
Yeah. If you want to listen to early Lil Wayne, there's better stuff you can listen to. If you want to listen,
album is pretty good from what I hear.
If you want to listen to Juvenile, you can listen to 400 Degrees. If you want to listen to BG and Turk, you can listen to 400 Degrees.
Yeah, fair.
It just kind of falls flat.
Yeah, I would definitely say it doesn't stand out particularly. But
not that it's a bad album. It's just all right to me.
I would agree there. But with that, we can get into the next one, which is our final album for the day and your personal pick.
Album. It's Give It To Him Raw by Soulja Slim. This is another New Orleans rapper. Started rapping in 93. So he's been at this for a while. This is 98. He was noticed by No Limit, and they signed him to do this album. There's a lot to go over with him. He's probably the most interesting MC to talk about. It's just like really weird, kind of tragic story with him.
Yeah, I looked up a little bit of it.
He was a complete cocaine addict early on in his career. He was on heroin. He was selling and he was doing it. And he talks about that in the album too, actually. It's more introspective than you would think a No Limit tape would be. Because he does talk directly about how he used to use drugs and like how he doesn't anymore. Right after this album released, he was arrested. The second this album released, he was arrested for armed robbery.
Wow.
He's been shot so many times that I didn't even bother writing all of them down. It's like written, and none of these guys who shot him ever get caught.
No. It's probably mutual, to be honest.
Oh yeah, for sure. He's from Magnolia Projects. He was a drug dealer. He was affiliated. I don't exactly know what it was. I felt weird looking up what gang was Soulja Slim affiliated. It sounds stupid. So like in the 90s, he was just affiliate. He was part of that life. He was a drug dealer. And he shot and killed.
Yeah, in 05, right?
I think it was before that, wasn't it?
It might have been 03, actually.
03. Yeah, it was 03. He had a collaboration on Juvenile's album that went number 1, but he was killed before it released. So he is one of the only artists ever. He's the sixth artist ever to have a number 1 while being dead. A posthumous number 1 hit.
I didn't know that.
The guy who they suspect shot him got away with it because nobody came forward.
Yeah.
This guy killed 3 more people probably. Nobody came forward about any of those. So he got away with it, and he was just found shot to death like later on in like 2011.
Yeah, I did read about that.
That's just how...
Oh, I mean, that's the life they're rapping about in these songs.
I mean, he's talking about the street life, and that's where that ends up for a lot of people.
I noticed in a definite trend in all of these albums is at some point they cover the fact that being famous puts a target on their back. In every single one of these albums, they talk about how people... God, in one of the albums in particular, they talk about how people from their own city are the ones that they can trust the least because they're the most likely to be jealous.
So after he died, somebody broke into his studio and stole an unreleased song and then printed it as a bootleg. Wow. Yeah,
that's crazy.
It's literally the people in his own neighborhood that did this. They're absolutely right. I mean,
yeah, definitely. Even a little bit of success in these, where there's a cycle of poverty like this, it puts a target on your back.
Yeah,
from the people you're around every day and grew up with at the same time.
Just a very
that's
tragic
still a thing, even in modern hip hop. Like you look at the Chicago drill rappers, very similar.
Oh
story.
Yeah, when they oh my God, so many of them are dead. It's
and a lot of times because of their success,
It's a miracle Chief Keef is still around.
It is a miracle. Well, he's
Sosa,
so it's different.
On his back.
He's King Sosa.
Yeah, but still. Have you heard War? Like some of the shit he was saying, like,
oh yeah, absolutely.
It was motivation to get him. But regardless, Give It to Him Raw is much more in line with the Cash Money, the Hot Boys sound. But it's also a little bit more hardcore, I would say.
Can we talk about the album cover?
It's so ahead of its time.
Incredible. It is
so
like something
ahead
from the
of its time.
This is how I make the thumbnails for these videos. I just put a bunch
Oh,
of
you need
photos.
to put this on here in some way.
Absolutely.
The jet plane with the missiles,
like
him wearing all camo with the chain.
The tank.
Like the tank, the soldiers in the background, the explosions. It's like This is
Crime
what
Golf
people
War.
were doing on SoundCloud in like 2015
And then
on.
the huge featuring list right on
Oh,
the
yeah.
title.
Snoop Dogg right there. First line.
Mm-hmm. Master P. Yep.
Yeah. A lot of other No Limit people on here. I was kind of surprised at the Snoop Dogg. Apparently, Snoop Dogg was on No Limit.
Yeah,
Which is just so
it was
weird.
I think it was their most famous acquisition, as they had him for a bit in the 90s.
I just don't. Why did he go south? Like, I don't understand.
I think he was mad at the West Coast or something. I don't know.
Got it. But I love this album. The sound here is much more raw. Not as sample based as the other things. There's a few of them here and there. But
Yeah.
this is where you start to hear, like, this is what a lot of underground trap artists were listening to when they were growing up. You can tell the influence, the way he's rapping, the beats he's rapping on, the bass on these beats are all really hard hitting. Shakes my car when I listen to it. He does everything really, really well.
Yeah.
But I have a few problems with it.
Me too. A couple.
Because No Limit was mass producing albums like crazy. I feel like they didn't pay enough attention to it. I feel like this could have been more polished. I don't actually think the rawness of the record is a bad thing. But even
One of my notes is that some of these songs sound like a damn Toe Jam and Earl game. Like what is it? The last song? NL Party sounds like something you get on the SNES.
Wait, I love No Limit Party though. Oh, it's so catchy.
I love it too, but like the production on some of this is like, this is an N64 game. This is a GoldenEye. It feels like what you're listening to.
It can be a little bit ridiculous, but it's
feels
beautiful.
like you're listening to a Newgrounds game soundtrack. I don't mind it though, but it's definitely a unique vibe. Actually, speaking of NL Party, not to start at the end of the album, NL Party definitely sounds like something I can imagine RXK Nephew on. That type of beat.
For sure. Oh, he would kill it. Oh, he'd kill it so much.
Absolutely.
It's one of my favorite songs on the album.
Oh, it's great. For me, it's that and the two songs featuring Mia X.
Yeah, those are good too.
Only female rap artist feature in this list, but she's great.
She kills it. She does kill it.
She's
really good.
Kills it. Speaking of features, I don't really like any of Snoop Dogg's features in this album. I don't think it's
I don't hate them.
Work.
I don't hate them.
I
liked at the same
really
time.
Stands out in a good way.
I think that actually he doesn't destroy Soulja Slim on any of these features.
Yeah,
which I think is a good thing because he stands out here. Soulja Slim, is not outdone by any feature on this list.
Pretty good lyricist.
He's a really good he's more of a lyricist than you would expect. Definitely. From No Limit. He's intense. He's just very interesting to listen to.
Yeah.
I like him a lot. I like him a lot. He kills Master P every time they're on a song together.
Absolutely.
No offense to Master P at all. And there are some low points on this album. I'm not going to glaze it too hard. There are some low.
It's quite long.
I thought was kind of dumb.
Long.
And it is
Get
over an hour.
I don't really like very much.
There are some songs that didn't need to be on here.
Yeah, but like you said, it's quantity over anything else.
Street Life, at the same time, Pray for Your Baby are all great tracks.
Lawbreakers,
Lawbreakers is great. Hustle is a Habit. And NL Party is fantastic. I don't care what anyone says.
Imagine is also a pretty interesting one, especially lyrically.
Yeah, I need to go through this again, to be honest.
I did.
It's just so
yesterday.
fun to listen to. It's just so fun
but
to
like
listen to.
like I was saying, with some of the longer albums, even though I went through this yesterday, it's still a little bit hard to pick out exactly what each song was.
Yeah, that is
You
true,
know?
and that's another. It's 20 songs.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 20 song album. Like it's a little bit too much.
Yeah, I would agree.
And there are some weak songs. You could have cut some of these, but
Mhm.
overall, I really like this project.
Oh, it's
I
a
think
great
it's
project.
underappreciated, if anything. I think it's
okay.
more influential than people might think it is.
Mm-hmm.
Even it is pretty underground.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say there was no limit. It wasn't like it was super underground, but the influence this has, I think, is farther reaching than people give it credit for. It's my favorite No Limit tape that I've listened to so far.
Okay.
And I'm no means done with all of them, but it's definitely my favorite.
I mean, yeah, like I said, it's a very good album, surprisingly so. I like once again, the production is pretty low quality, and it does get muddy at times, and it can be a little bit hard to pick out the words and the actual lyrics that he's saying.
That is
For
fair.
various reasons, like I mentioned, the double tracking and everything. But you know, on second listen, and when you're paying a bit more attention, it's a good album. Catchy hooks, everything you can kind of want from the Dirty South genre.
I feel like if it wasn't as rushed, it would be on another level that it just doesn't quite
Yeah.
reach. And I don't think that's his fault. I think that's more No Limit's fault.
Yeah. But with that, I believe we are done with the albums.
We are. So what are we thinking? I want your thoughts first.
Okay, so I'm gonna give my thoughts on the genre overall. Basically,
Mhm.
I think Dirty South is definitely a reinterpretation of the sort of gangster rap genre you get from the West Coast in the early '90s, and you get these same subjects in East Coast rap, basically rapping about the poverty and the actual day-to-day life in the hood, and it's something you lose in the 2000s, I think, with the bling era, and even today you have this coverage of what life is like for the normal person growing up in these neighborhoods, but it's a lot more of a focus on the riches and glamour of fame. You know?
That is.
And I will
true.
say there's not a lot of that in here. Like there's a few songs about like Mercedes or having a Lambo or whatever, but there's not songs about going to Europe and jet setting and performing at huge concerts and Louis Vuitton and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Not a lot of
that didn't happen yet.
not a lot of luxury here. That sort of.
I feel like the modern luxury rap type stuff is just so corny at this point and so overdone.
Yeah,
It's kind of a
definitely
breath of fresh air to go back to this when it really wasn't like that at all.
Yeah, definitely trying to at least depict what life is like for most people in these neighborhoods.
Yeah,
And
I agree
say,
it is kind of like taking West Coast gangster rap and trying to make it their own Southern thing.
I think they definitely succeed at that.
Oh, 100%.
They do a lot of different interesting things with this.
There's similarities, but it's different enough to the point where you would never call like anything on here like a West Coast. Like that'd be crazy.
Yeah, it's like rapping about the harsh realities of life and trying to make it like a bunch of times. Soulja Slim mentions Angola. I don't know if you're familiar with the prison in Louisiana.
I'm not. No.
I believe there was a whole documentary about it. It's a former slave plantation where they actually have the prisoners like pick cotton and
Jesus
stuff. It's like
Christ.
one of the worst prisons in America, like famously to this day. And I don't know if Soulja Slim ever got there, but it's definitely a reality for these people, and that's the sort of environment they're growing up in. The South being the poorest region of the country and all of that stuff. The history of slavery and the violence that comes from that.
I see. I hope I see the American Empire fall in my lifetime. That's disgusting. Oh my god.
Yeah, there's a whole documentary on it. Look it up sometime. But like stylistically,
oh my god,
I think the stream of consciousness style is very interesting here because East Coast rappers think they're poets, and West Coast rappers do to a certain extent too. South rappers not.
They kind of just say what's on their mind.
It's a very stream of consciousness. Something I noticed listening to all these albums is that it's not an overly written style. I actually wonder if most of these rappers even write down their lyrics, because there's a lot of verses that don't match exactly to the meter, where it feels like it's more important to say what they want to say than it is to fit to a rhythm. Like a lot of times they'll add extra syllables to a line just because they want to finish their sentence, you know?
Yeah.
A lot of loose verse and stuff like that is very interesting.
It benefits though from that looser structure too. I think it's really interesting to listen to.
It sounds more organic, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know,
some of these songs
it's not overly
sound
produced
like
at all.
Super like, I don't know. Basically, they have like a live performance with like a backing band in some of these songs.
Yeah, it's amateur in a good way, basically.
Yeah,
and the production too. It's not overly sampled. They don't have to worry about clearing samples or anything like that. It's
and
just electronic
UGK,
production.
Not like almost overproduced. It's just like so smooth in comparison to the other albums here.
Absolutely. It's just pure electronic production, and you know, these people who don't, they're not like experts or consider themselves writers. They're just rapping about, you know, life and stuff like that. And I think that's sort of I don't know, that's why gangster rap appealed to a lot of people, I think. Well, maybe not America at large, but definitely people in the hip hop community, because it was more real, yeah, than what you get in the 80s and stuff like that, about, you know, the type of lives that people actually lived. And Southern hip-hop definitely epitomizes that. Not a lot of, well, there's pretending, but not, it's a reality, even if it's not the actual
it's not their reality, but it's like, some of them it was their reality, but some of them it's just their reality for other people. I mean, for a lot of, I think, honestly, MJG and 8 Ball might be the only one where it's not their reality.
I mean, there's probably like, William was 16 at this point. Like, you probably didn't have quite as much experience as he was saying in the album.
Yeah. They might be.
There's probably a lot of exaggeration, but it's still based on reality in a way that a lot of other stuff isn't.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I think that's something
a very
that's
interesting
lost later on at some point.
Yeah. Even if it's not the most polished, you know, it's definitely very.
I think it benefits from the rawness.
It feels real, you know.
Yeah. 100%. What are you thinking?
How about album rankings?
What are your top 3 songs and the rankings of the? No, let's go albums first. Albums first.
Comin' Out Hard. Still Standing.
Okay.
And then I do like Ridin Dirty. I didn't like it at all at first, but Ridin Dirty, Guerrilla Warfare, and then Give It To Him Raw. And I don't dislike Give It To Him Raw. It's not one of those rankings.
Okay. Gotcha. We still have
it's
not
just at the bottom for me.
We have not completely agreed yet.
I think
we're close though. Rare. We're getting close to it. I agree. I loved. Oh my God! Why am I forgetting?
Comin' Out Hard.
Yeah, Comin' Out Hard is my number 1.
MJG.
Yeah. Still Standing is my number 2. And then it's Give It To Him Raw number 3. Ridin Dirty number 4, and then the Cash Money Guerrilla Warfare number 5.
Ridin Dirty and then Guerrilla Warfare. Okay. I see. All right, top 3 songs. I have those though. It's all right. Let's do this. Inshallah, Ridin Dirty, the actual song, and then. We On Fire is kind of a bad song, but it gets stuck in my head so much, like all the time. But no, it's probably gonna be Mr. Big. I love Mr. Big.
It is a good one,
but not because of my size. It's so good. Yeah,
I think I gotta say, my number 1 is Beautiful Skin. Then Pimps at number 2.
Okay.
And then I think number 3 is One Day.
One Day's good. I almost picked One Day. Yeah.
It is really, really fantastic. All these songs were good, though. I mean, most of these songs are good.
There's a lot of songs, to be honest.
It's a hard choice.
This is probably the most songs we've covered yet.
Yeah, a lot of songs on all these albums.
But a lot of good ones. Every album definitely has a lot of highlights.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
okay,
I recommend almost all of these.
Yeah, me too. With that, I'll say I can introduce the next episode's topic.
Oh,
hopefully,
I'm ready.
hopefully on a better schedule. So the next episode's topic, 2010s
Hmm.
psychedelic pop.
Ooh, okay.
Let me
Oh,
give you a
that's gonna
preview
be
of
an
the top
interesting one.
three. Top 3 includes Tame Impala, MGMT, and Mid-Air Thief.
Oh, I listened to all of those already. That's awesome.
Exactly. I was trying to get a genre that we definitely have a lot of more familiarity with.
I think I've
You know.
listened to every single one of those albums, so you need to check which ones they are. But
It's Crumbling, Currents, and Little Dark Age. Yeah.
yep.
I've also listened to all of these albums, so.
All right, excellent. And then you just have to find
should be a
another
good
one to
episode.
add to it. All right, perfect.
Look
All
forward
right.
to that. Check
Yep.
us out on Spotify, on YouTube, on Patreon, wherever you listen to podcasts. And with that was Musically Impaired. I'm Marie.
I'm Casey. We will see you next time.
See ya.
Next day you're gone. One day you